Good evening, folks, and welcome to Eastfield. Glens Falls, New York, the Greenjackets taking on the Capitaland Thunder. George Fordrung and my partner in the booth tonight will be Nick Bodkin, former number 64 of the Greenjackets, and Nick, former center for the Greenjackets. Nick, great to have you here tonight.
Thank you.
Now, my regular partner, Bill Callahan, was called out of town, and I found out about that this morning. So Bill will not be with us. I hope he'll be joining us back again next week. This, Nick, should be a game that will certainly tell in which direction the Greenjackets are going to go as far as the Empire Football League is concerned. These two teams are two teams that, let's face it, and if we want to be completely honest about it, they really don't like each other.
That's right.
And Nick, you know, you've been down on the field there with the Capitaland Thunder playing against the Capitaland Thunder. These two teams always have close games, very close games, as a matter of fact, as we saw 2 weeks ago in a 13-10 win by the Capitaland Thunder in a preseason game, a game that didn't count towards the standings of the Empire Football League. Now, they've already done the coin toss, and the teams are lining up in the end zone so that they can introduce the starting lineups for the teams. It looks as though they'll be starting they'll introduce the starting lineup of the Green Jacket offense and the Capitaland defense, apparently, is how they're going to do this. But the Capitaland Thunder last week coming off a big win against the Binghamton Jets, the Broome County Jets, actually, a 13-10 win for them in that game as well. The Green Jackets coming off a tremendous ball game against the expansion team, the St. Lawrence Valley Trailblazers, winning by a score of 57-0. And the Green Jackets, Nick, did everything right in that ball game. Now the Green Jackets, when they played in that ball game, one of the things that they did do was they had pulled a lot of their players out, a lot of their starting ball players out after the first quarter. They were ahead 17-0. And then Coach Joe Bonviaggio, Tommy Mayer, and Pete Quackenbush had pulled everybody out, virtually everybody out, and brought in their second team. And the second team looked as good as the first team did against St. Lawrence. And the good thing about having this happening at the beginning of the season is the fact that it gives everybody the opportunity to get into the ball game. They realize that all of this time that they've spent out on the practice field, sweating and hurting and going through injuries and everything else, pays off because they made a difference in a league game right at the very beginning of the season to start the season well for the Jackets.
That's right. It's such a great opportunity to get out in the field and prove yourself to the coaches, and that's what these guys are looking for.
Now, some of these guys won't get a lot of playing time, or may have to go in, be forced into play because of the fact that there may be injuries and things like that. We take a look at the Green Jackets, and of course they're announcing the starting offense, and you see the offensive linemen coming out. You see big number 62, Dan Rainville, and Big Bob Fish, number 54. Josh Goslin, who was the winner last week of the Big Uglies Lineman of the Game Award. And number 70, the man that took your place, Nick, and in the Green Jacket, they're right in the center of that Green Jacket line. Number 70, Jake Wilde, not very big, 6 foot, 210, but does a tremendous job.
That's right. You don't have to be very big. You just have to have a good technique.
Right. The technique is certainly very important. Number 17 is Dan Chandler, very gifted wide receiver. Look for this backfield, probably the best backfield in the Empire Football League. Number 44, Danny McGovern. Of course, number 29, David Winter. The quarterback is number 12, Kevin Siska. And Kevin Siska, out of RPI, has done also a tremendous job, playing in a position that he hadn't played really since high school. Now we're going to be stopping for our national anthem, and we'll take a break for that. have it, the national anthem. And, of course, a very, very nice crowd here at East Field for the start of the Empire Football League season, the home start of the Empire Football League season. The Green Jackets 1-0 in Empire Football League play, 2-1 on the season thus far, with their only loss coming to this same Capitaland Thunder team by a score of 13-10 2 weeks ago on this field. Now, Nick, I don't know if you got the opportunity to see that ball game or not, if you saw it on television or whether you were here. But the Jackets, in the second half of that game, thoroughly dominated the game on both sides of the ball. The only thing that happened was that the special teams had actually allowed a long kickoff return after Dan McGovern had returned a punt for a touchdown, and that was the difference in the ball game.
Yeah, it's funny how stuff like that can happen. You think you're on top of it, and you let up for 1 second, and things totally take a shift.
Well, one of the things that happened was the fact that the Green Jackets had like an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, and they had to kick very, very deep in their own territory. I think from about the 15-yard line is where they were kicking off from, which made for a very short return. Now, the Green Jackets will be kicking off. Number 10, Brian Bagstad, will be kicking off for the Jackets, and back deep to return the kick will be number 6, Charlie Bianchino. And let me see if I can see the other number is number 1, Jeff Turman. So Turman is a defensive back, and Bianchino is also a defensive back. So these guys are used to being around the football, and the Green Jackets are certainly going to have better coverage on their kickoffs. Now, Bagstad last week, Nicky, was trying to really boot the ball deep, get it up in the air, and give his players time to get down the field to make the play. There's the opening kickoff. Nice high kick. That's taken by Turman. He's going to try it up the middle. Nothing doing. He did get it out to about the 31-yard line, but the initial guy who met him was number 81, David Krauser, who had a great game against the Trailblazers last week. Scored a touchdown and running out of the backfield. And now we'll see that vaunted Green Jacket offense, the offense who has really had, in both of their wins, have had shutouts. Now, take a look on both sides of the defensive line. You'll see a defensive end, number 8, Kenny Hackett, and of course, Jarris Night Train Jones on this side, and he'll be giving Lenny Noisette all kinds of problems back there. Noisette out of the shotgun. And Hackett had him, and he's able to get the pass off. Looks like he got about 8 yards on that play. He got the pass out to number 6, Charlie Bianchino. But the defensive line doing exactly what it's supposed to. Kenny Hackett had his arms on Lenny Noisette, but was unable to bring him down. So it's going to bring up a 2nd and 3 now for the Jackets.
Yeah, keeping pressure on that quarterback is totally key in this game.
Well, Lenny Noisette is the type of quarterback who will come. We watch him. He'll come up to the line. He may take a lot of snaps out of shotgun, but he comes up to the line. He takes a look at the defense, and then he calls a play. Noisette spending a lot of time back there.
Here's his flip.
That's out to Cooperwood. And a great play by number 28, Danny Marbut. Marbut coming up from his defensive back position. And Cooperwood may have lost a yard on that. And no, I guess he picked up a yard. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 2. Okay. You hate it when you go on the air and you have a tickle in your throat, you know, and you're trying to call a play. Okay. Green Jacket defense, Big Willie Edwards on the front line, along with number 85, Cortez Pritchett, who was new to the team, actually last week played in his first game against the Trailblazers and did a great job.
Got the pass, swing out.
Now they let them have that short pass. He was taken out of bounds by number 14, Nick LaRose. And they gave him the short pass, so that's good for a 1st down. Pass was complete to number 2, Travis Gaddy. Travis Gaddy, 5'10", 185 pounds. And I don't know that the Jackets, I think that what you may see is they'll try to spread their defense out a little bit, make sure that nobody's going to get anything or get behind them, because that was a problem. But if you start seeing short passes like that, Nick, more than likely they'll close things up fairly quick.
Yeah, I think right now they're just trying to keep it to minimum gains and test the waters and see what it's like for tonight.
Now, Lenny Noisette calling signals for the Capitaland Thunder. He hands it off to number 6. Kind of a broken play. Nick LaRose catches up with him and brings him down, but not before he's able to pick up about 15 yards on that carry. They'll give him 16 yards. He's got the ball all the way down to the 38-yard line of the Greenjackets. Number 6, Charlie Bianchino. The last game, it was number 27, Sil Cooperwood, who was really giving the Greenjackets a tough time. Cooperwood rushed for over 100 yards in that ball game. The Greenjackets, the only points that they've given up so far this season has been against Capitaland, the 13 points that they did. And you see Lenny Noisette directing traffic back there. Now, that could be an offside, yeah. Looked like the offensive lineman took off. They had handed the ball off to number 18, Damon Crowley, but it'll be 5 yards against Capitaland, so it'll bring up a 1st and 15. You see the head official, Mike Cronin, and he's a familiar face around here. Mike looks like he's wearing some kind of a brace on his knee. Now, don't be surprised. At 1st and 15, they may try and run this, but that tough Jacket defense is certainly going to be looking for somebody coming out of the backfield. That secondary is also very, very strong. Noisette's back to pass. It's kind of in the flats. That pass is complete to number 34, Mario Henderson. He was brought down by number 55, Brian Northern, and number 64, Mitch Morgan. Our officials, the head referee is going to be Mike Cronin. Of course, the umpire is Joe Porter. Head linesman, Bob Michelucci. Field judge, Jeff Brayman. Back judge, Paul Shaver. The side judge is Dick Linehan. So a familiar crew as far as the officiating crew is concerned, all of those guys from around here. Lenny Noisette calling signals once again. Quick pass, but behind his receiver, and a lot of pressure by Night Train Jones. Nikki, that's what I think Night Train and that defensive line is going to have to do. They're going to have to get back there and really disrupt Noisette in order to be able to stop that offense.
You got to throw him off his pattern and force him to make mistakes.
Right. If he sets himself up into some type of a rhythm, then the Jacket defense could be in trouble.
That's true.
Especially a veteran quarterback like Lenny Noisette. Noisette is one of those guys who's been around for many, many years. As you watch Noisette come up to the offensive line, he'll take a long look at the defense. Now, the defense, Pete Quackenbush, one of the things he's done is he's made it so that they will shift a little bit.
Right.
And that pass almost picked off, went right through the hands of Brian Northern, the linebacker for the Jackets. And that's going to bring up a 4th down, 4th and 6. And I do not believe they have a kicker that's capable of getting the ball in from out here. So I wouldn't be at all surprised to see them try to punt and put the Green Jackets back deep.
That's right. But this is a big game, so we can't take anything for granted.
Now, officials, okay, so Albany calls a timeout. Capitaland Thunder calls a timeout. Their first of the game, and of course, they'll be talking with their head coach to see just exactly what it is they plan on doing. They're deep now, at about the 33-yard line of the Green Jackets, and the way that Green Jacket defense plays, their coach has to wonder if they'll get down there again. They do remember the game just a couple of weeks ago where they really had a very difficult time moving the ball against this Green Jacket defense. Now, the other thing, Nick, that Green Jacket fans should be looking at this year is the fact that the defense has always been tough with the Green Jackets. We know that. Everybody who's ever watched the Green Jackets for as many years as they've been around know that the Green Jacket defense is always tough. The offense has always seemed to be some kind of suspect. But this year, they have a tremendous offense. They've got an offense who has put up 92 points, I believe, so thus far. And the defense has only given up 13, and that 13 was to this Capitaland Thunder team in one game. So certainly both sides of the ball look very good for the Green Jackets.
I think the improvement in the offense this year is due to the new coaching staff. I mean, they've done a lot and increased the number of plays that we run and the quality of the practices so that we're becoming more of a unit.
I have to be honest with you, Nick. I was at practice on Wednesday, and that had to be one of the most spirited practices I've ever seen. They had about 40 guys out at practice, and it's been a long time since we've seen that. And these guys are coming in. They want this game so bad that they can taste it.
This is always a big
Now, Noise set. Back to pass. A lot of pressure on him by Night Train Jones. Night Train levels Lenny Noise set. And this is going to be a first down for the Green Jackets on their own 33-yard line. Do not be surprised. We'll see a lot of David Winter and Danny McGovern. And I got a feeling that nobody has thus far has been able to stop those two. And these guys are getting themselves into a rhythm now, and they kind of complement each other. They're both pretty much the same type of running back. Either one of them can scoot through the smallest of holes on that offensive line. And the offensive line has done a tremendous job thus far this year. Kevin Siska is the quarterback. David Winter gets the ball and keeps the legs churning. He'll pick up about 6 on that first play from scrimmage. Bring the ball out to the 39-yard line. You know, one of the things that we need to do, and of course, is to make sure that we honor some of the folks who have advertised in our program. And we would like to take a moment. We'll mention Carriage Traders. Carriage Traders over in South Glens Falls. And Jimmy Zappone and his crew over there do a tremendous job with the used cars that they sell. They have a huge lineup of cars. So thank you to Carriage Traders. Kevin Siska getting the ball out just over the hands of number 11, T-Bone Green. So it's going to bring up a 3rd and 3 now for the Jackets. Of course, we talk about the running backs. They're sponsored by Phil Russell City Pizza, best pizza in town at Quaker Plaza on Quaker Road near O'Toole's. Gabe Young is split wide right, split wide left is Dan Chandler. And you also have Torrey Mayer out wide right as well. David Winter fumbles. And I believe he did get the ball. He got the ball back, but it's going to bring up a 4th down now. So it'll bring up a 4th and about 8. That has been a little bit of a problem thus far this year with some of those pitches. The pitch, I don't know if what the problem seems to be with the pitch, but there has been a problem there. The punter for the team is number 15, usually Torrey Mayer, who has been doing a great job with that. They also have Danny Marbut, who can also punt. And Jake Wilde will be doing the snapping, the long snapping. We see Jack Gibbs back, set back, and he'll be blocking. So Mayer gets the kick off, or the punt off. And Danny Marbut downs the ball, does not give them the opportunity to be able to return it. So he kind of caught it on a bounce. And it looks as though it'll be, now there is a flag on the play. I didn't see that back in the Green Jacket backfield. So we're going to have to see what that is. They are talking to the Capitaland players. So in all likelihood, it's going to be against the Green Jackets. Block below the waist, I believe. Is that what that is? And
I believe so.
So it looks as though they'll be back. Yeah, it's an illegal block.
Back on the 15-yard line.
So they'll be punting from deep in their own territory, and that's going to give number 1, Jeff Turman, the opportunity to return a punt. So once again, Torrey Mayer will have to try to kick the ball, this time from back near his own goal line. The offensive line is certainly going to have to do their job and make sure that they give him as much protection as possible.
Capitaland's coming on an outside rush, so it's going to be a little bit difficult.
Certainly. They have you can see them wide right over there, and they're coming in from the other side as well. They did get a hand on it as well. And one of the Capitaland Thunder players, number 51, that was kind of a foolish play, actually attempted to grab that ball, and Capitaland is very lucky that they were able to fall on the ball. Now, Nick, you as an offensive lineman and going down to make after snapping the ball, you have to realize that, and of course you've been taught this many times for many years, if you're on the receiving team, you stay away from the ball, especially
definitely.
when you got everybody around you.
Definitely. Just run away.
Well, many teams will call poison or something like that, meaning get away from it.
Yes.
So now Capitaland has a first down at the Green Jacket 29-yard line. So this whole game seems to, thus far, with 4:30 left to go in the first quarter, has been played in Green Jacket territory. Now he's set back to pass. He's airing it out, trying to get it into, and a nice play by number 28, Danny Marbut, helping out Nick LaRose back in the end zone and knocking that ball out of the hands of number 6, Charlie Bianchino. So that'll bring up a second down for the Capitaland Thunder. One of our other sponsors in our program that we'd certainly like to thank is A&W in Lake George. Right on Route 9 in Lake George. They're open daily from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. They have soft ice cream, 60 flavors of ice cream, hamburgers, hot dogs, sandwiches, all kinds of a kids menu, and, of course, A&W root beer. Thank you once again. Noisette calling signals. That's out to Cooperwood.
Nowhere to go.
And he was hit hard by Brian Northern and by Kenny Hackett. Nothing there. As a matter of fact, he may have lost about a half a yard on that play. So that's going to bring up a third. Let's call it a 3rd and 11, just inside the 30-yard line. That's that swarming defense, Nick, that we've seen for so many years with the Jackets, and even better this year.
That's right. You got to play until the ball's whistled out. Otherwise, you never know what'll happen.
Now, the captain of that defensive unit is Mike Randall, number 27, who you'll see as an inside linebacker, playing inside with number 55, Brian Northern. Noisette's back to pass, and Night Train Jones once again got a hold of him. I don't believe that's enough for a first down.
I think that's going to be shy.
The pass was complete to number 23, Tony Tanksley. And that's going to be 4th. That's going to bring up 4th and about 3. Now, I believe they do have a place kicker who can get the ball in from here. So let's see if we do see their place kicker coming out here. No, it looks as though Noisette is staying in the game.
Can't beat the field position, so you might as well try it.
Certainly. So a big test for the Green Jacket defense. And they'll be looking to put a lot of pressure on Noisette. Now they give the ball to Cooperwood, and he stopped short.
Yes.
It's going to be a Green Jacket first down at the 20-yard line. They're going to mark it just outside of the 20-yard line. That whole defensive center, led by Brian Northern, coming out of his linebacker position, and they made the stop. So, you know, one of the things that I suppose we're getting used to seeing.
Yeah, defense is definitely dominating for us over the past couple of years. I think this year our offense is going to start picking it up, and they're going to start putting numbers on the board.
We'll see some things. Sometimes the offense does shoot itself in the foot. We've seen that with fumbles, but when that offense is clicking, there's nobody that's going to stop them. This is Danny McGovern right up the. I guess he was off tackle. Looks like he'll pick up about 3 on the play. His first carry of the ball game.
We can just make it past the penalties this year. I think we'll do fine. Years past, we get a good play, we get a penalty. So.
That's going to bring up a 2nd and 7 now for the Jackets. Ball on the 20, right about the 23-yard line. George Fordrung, along with Nicky Bodkin. And as my friend Bill Callahan says, we're in football heaven. Now, Danny McGovern was hit behind the line of scrimmage that time. I think they'll call it about the 21-yard line, a loss of 2 on the play. One of our other sponsors is Evergreen Bank, a division of Bank North. And we're very proud to have them as supporters of Green Jacket football. Evergreen Bank, we're as committed to the communities we serve as we are to the customers we serve. Jake Wilde leading the team out of the huddle. Kevin Siska, the quarterback. Quick pass picked off. That was picked off by number 12, Maceo Clinton, who was the young man who returned the kickoff for a touchdown to beat the Green Jackets the last time they played.
Yeah, Dan just lost his footing on that play. He just slipped out and went past the ball. Not much you can do about that.
So there are 2 huge turnovers that we see, and the ball is inside now. The ball is inside the 20-yard line at about the 18-yard line, so it's going to be 1st and 10 for Capitaland.
Tonight, the wide receivers and tight ends are sponsored by Dan and Jeannie Lambert and Double L Electric. Quality work for homes and businesses for 15 years.
Very good. Dan and Ginny Lambert with Double L Electrical, proud sponsors of the Green Jackets for the past couple of seasons. We're very happy to have them back once again this year. Noise set calling signals. He gives it to Cooperwood up the middle. Cooperwood stopped by the initial hit, but he bounces to the outside. There is a flag thrown. He's knocked out of bounds by number 28, Danny Marbut. We'll have to wait and see what the officials say as far as a flag. That's going to be a holding call against Capitaland. It's going to move them back 10 yards.
It's just the opportunity the Jackets need.
Yeah, the Jackets, well, certainly any kind of, that's what we usually see happening against the Green Jackets. The penalty like that kind of squashes a drive. So that's going to bring the ball all the way out to about the 26-yard line, I guess. They're going to put it at, right about the 26. So that'll bring up a 1st and 18. The only problem this does is it gives Lenny Noisette more room to move around, though. He has the opportunity to be able to get the ball out to his very talented wide receivers that he has. But that Green Jacket defense is certainly tough, so it'll be tough to get into the end zone on them. Cooperwood once again, and he's stopped. Maybe a gain of 1. And again, you see once again that these 2 teams just don't like each other. The stop was by number 25, Damon Walker.
You often get a lot of rivalry between 2 teams that are in so close a proximity to each other. I mean, a lot of these guys are buddies on and off the field.
That is the end of the first quarter. No score here at Eastfield between the Capitaland Thunder and the Green Jackets. We'll be back with second quarter action right after this message.
Tell you where to find the magic homework.
Welcome back to Eastfield. George Fordrung along with Nicky Bodkin. And the Green Jackets and the Capitaland Thunder have played to a 0-0 tie after the first quarter. Green Jackets with the ball. Second and, trying to see where the yard marker is. Second and about, oh no, I'm sorry. It's the Capitaland Thunder with the ball. And it's, now it'll be third down, 3rd and 18. I lost my bearings here for a minute when they switched sides of the field. Okay, Nick, that's where you step in and say, hey, George, the other team has the ball. Not that I don't know about this game of football, Okay. Well, there's my biggest screw-up of the year so far. Okay, let's talk about that defense. They're sponsored by Jim Willig of Whiteman Chevrolet, getting you the car you want at the price you want to pay in the comfort of his mobile sales office. Jim Willig of Whiteman Chevrolet. Noisette is back to take the snap in the shotgun. They have 3 wide receivers out, 2 wide right, 1 wide left. And Noisette is back looking, but he's got a lot of pressure. And Night Train Jones got him first, and then it was Night Train Jones who got him first. I'm trying to see who it was that went in and finished him off. I believe it was Bob Tucker, number 99. Yes, there was. And there is a flag thrown on the play as well. Now, they are moving the ball back against the... And they're saying this is still 3rd down. So the penalty was against the Jackets, I believe. But it's about 3rd and about 23, I believe, is what we're looking at right now. The ball is all the way back to the 29-yard line of the Greenjackets. Noisette, once again, is back into shotgun. And he's back to pass, and once again, Night Train coming hard. There is another flag on the play. We have to wait and see. This could be an illegal man downfield. That is against, and it is. Illegal man downfield. So I would tend to think that well, let's see. The Jackets may end up trying to push them back even further. Now, what do you do in a situation like this, Nick? You're back at the 29-yard line. It would be 4th down. They could bring in a kicker.
I'd decline it.
Decline it and...
make it 4th down and make them do something.
Right. And they have to get all the way down to about the 7-yard line in order to get a 1st down, so they've got a long ways to go. They've got the ball at the 29-yard line. One of our other proud sponsors, Livingston's Quality Manor Furniture. Since 1901, 101 years they've been around on Dix Avenue. And Salem Hardware and Supply, your local true value hardware store. Noisette once again back to pass. He's got it deep. And it was a nice play by Danny Marbut, popping the ball up in the air. But the problem was that Charlie Bianchino almost came down with the ball. It was just out of his reach. And, of course, the Greenjackets will have a 1st and 10 now at the 29-yard line. So once again, that Green Jacket defense, Nikki, has held exactly the way they have been, really, for the entire season thus far.
See what the offense can do now. We got the big boys up front. See if they can open up some holes and give McGovern some room to run.
Now, David Winter is not in the ball game currently. They have Danny McGovern, who has just received the ball. He stopped right at the line of scrimmage, and tackle was made by big number 69, Devon Jones, defensive lineman 6'3", 295. And I think what they're going to do, and I don't be surprised if Coach Tom Mayer does this, is give them a steady dose of Danny McGovern, and then all of a sudden throw David Winter at him. And Winter's kind of a different kind of a running back because of the fact that he has that power, the power running ability where he can get through the line, and then it's very difficult to bring him down. Kevin Siska calling signals. Once again, they give it to McGovern, and then once again, it looks like they stopped him. He may have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. There is a flag thrown.
Looks to be a face mask.
I saw Greg Woodard coming out of there. Face mask against, it's a personal foul face mask against the Capitaland Thunder, which should be a 15-yarder and a 1st down. Now, it could be that the tackle was made with a face mask. So if that's the case, that's exactly what it'll be. A 15-yarder, 1st down for the Jackets, and there is a player down on the field. Looks like number 54, Bob Fish, down on the field. Of course, you hate to see Bob Fish down there. He's one of the guys who leads that offensive line. 2 weeks ago, or was it 3 weeks ago, he was the winner of the very first Big Ugly's Lineman of the Game award, and he is being helped off the field.
It's sad to see this one happens to somebody, you know. I mean, a lot of these
Well, Nick,
guys-
you've seen this happen a great deal.
Yeah, I mean, we all got our jobs on the sides, too. I mean,
Certainly.
injuries on the field affect our whole lives. And
So taking his place is big number 69, John Gifford. John Gifford is 6'3". He's listed at 350, but he's probably closer to 380.
I have no comment.
Nick's an offensive lineman himself, so. Now Siska takes off himself. He's got the room to run. And this a perfect block by number 3, Gabe Young. And Siska takes the ball all the way down near the 15-yard line. A tremendous play by Kevin Siska. And that is believe it or not, Nick, that is not a broken play. That is a design play. It looks like they're going to mark it at about the 18-yard line. But that was a design play that they were working on during practice this week. It was kind of a quarterback counter, where he takes off and tries to stay as close to the tight end as he can and then see if anything opens for him. Of course, it did that time. And a tremendous block by number 3, Gabe Young, in order to spring him. And the wide receivers, Gabe Young and Torrey Mayer, that was handed off to David Winter. Nothing there. And running through the middle of that Albany defense is going to be very, very difficult. The quarterback, Kevin Siska, sponsored by the Post-Star, from the Capital District to the Adirondacks, reaching 100,000 readers every day. Tremendous play by Kevin Siska to bring the Jackets down deep into Albany territory. One of the things the Jackets want to do, now Winter got about a yard on that play, is they want to get on the board first.
we got to capitalize on this, definitely. This is one of our problems. You always get down here.
Siska's back to pass. Almost picked off. They have him listed as number 51, or number 51 is the what he's wearing, but I believe, well, that may be, it's tough to see who that might be. It's a linebacker, whoever he is, but they don't have a 51 listed on their roster, so we'll have to check that out, find out exactly who it is. Siska once again behind center. Dan Chandler, number 17, is split wide left. Gabe Young wide right. Tandem of McGovern, and passes out to David Winter. Nice play. Nice play by number 30, Paulie Vasco, a Green Jacket Hall of Famer playing for Capitaland now. And he was able to get his hands around David Winter's ankles and hold him there until he was able to get some help to bring him down. Paulie Vasco is listed at 6'2", 270 pounds. And I have to tell you, I saw him when he was taking his gear off a couple of weeks ago, and that guy is built. That guy is all muscle. Let's take a look and see what they plan on doing this time. They do have Brian Bagstad, the long kicker, in, and Torrey Mayer, who is a backup quarterback, is the holder. Now, Jack Gibbs has normally been the holder, so we'll have to wait and see what happens, but Bagstad certainly can hit it from here. He'd be kicking it, it'd be about a 41-yarder. That kick is up, and
Just short.
just short. So we have 10 minutes, 21 seconds still left to go in the first half, and the score is still scoreless. The Green Jackets, Capitaland Thunder at 0-0. We again want to thank another one of our sponsors, Nemec's Sports Shop in Warrensburg. Their sports shop and farm and garden center. Of course, Hoss Nemec played for the Green Jackets for many, many years. And we want to thank Hoss and his the rest of his crew up at Nemec's Sports Shop. And, of course, Leland Paper, wholesale distributors, 10 Leland Drive in Glens Falls. Now, Lenny Noisette is still in at quarterback. He's taking his time.
Coming with a dive.
That's back with Cooperwood once again. He's brought down by number 8, Kenny Hackett. Defensive end coming over to make the initial tackle, and Got a little bit of help from Greg Brialt. Good run from scrimmage. He picked up about 7 yards on the play, so it'll bring up a 2nd and 3. Nick, thus far, the offensive line, you see them doing the job that they've been touted as far as being able to do.
Offensive line is doing great on pass protection tonight. They're having a little difficulty opening up those holes, especially in the outside.
Right.
They just got to regroup and figure out a new blocking scheme, and they'll be back on the ball.
Lenny Noisette calling signals. Once again, Cooperwood, hard-charging young man. He's gotten loose.
That's why you never give up. Keep those legs pumping. You never know what'll happen.
And Mike Randall, they had him stopped with a gain of about 3 yards. He got loose. Mike Randall came back, linebacker, and took him down, but not until he got down to about the 36-yard line of the Greenjackets. That's the first time that we've really seen the Green Jacket defense fail at what we expected them to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's not over until they blow that whistle. I mean, you got to wrap up and take them down and hold them.
Oh, certainly. That's, well, I think that, now Coach Pete Quackenbush is not here, and so Joe Bonviaggio will certainly take over the duties as a defensive coach as well as being the head coach. And he'll certainly be talking with his team about that. Now they handed it off this time to number 34, E.J. Harris. And these running backs from Albany are mooses. They're tough to bring down. He got the ball down close to the 30, maybe at about the 32, I guess, is where they're going to mark the ball.
Albany's getting some good blocks up front, and that's why they're able to move the ball as well.
Certainly, they got a big offensive line.
I mean, these guys have been working together for a long time, a lot of those. We got a relatively new offensive line on.
Certainly. Well, the defensive line, we see a couple of new guys on there. Bob Tucker, number 99. Number 64 is Mitch Morgan. And the defensive line.
Oh.
And number 77, Willie Edwards, has spent a lot of time in there, but Willie is certainly a veteran of this squad. He has been here many years. Now they're pitching out. Nice play by Danny Marbut, one of the hardest hitters in this league. Danny Marbut just took down Cooperwood in the backfield, and Marbut, I'll tell you, you could hear the crack up here. We told you about Danny Marbut in practice and the fact that he is, we saw him in practice at one point run over a 300-pound lineman, and the smack was just unbelievable. When you heard that, it was just, I could not believe what it was I was hearing. And Marbut took the ball and just ran down the field with it.
It's a beautiful
and the lineman couldn't believe it.
That's what the game's all about.
Certainly. Hard-hitting game. Nothing game thus far with 7 minutes and 4 seconds left to go in the first half. Capitaland and the Greenjackets just pounding each other out there on the field. Nice crowd here at East Field tonight. Noisette takes the long snap, and he tried to get the ball out to his favorite receiver, number 6, Charlie Bianchino, but he threw the ball short, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. And once again, they have long yardage once again. It looks like it's going to be 4th and 12.
Bringing in their kicker.
Yeah, they're going to bring in the punter. That makes sense. You have 6 minutes and 47 seconds left to go in the first half. And their punter is Jason Bradwell. Now, I don't see anybody back deep. It looks like Danny McGovern is coming in. Special teams are sponsored by Real Estate Express, a local real estate and home improvement show coming to TV8 in September. Be sure your broker lists your home on Real Estate Express. Now, Danny McGovern takes the ball, but he fumbled, and he fell on the ball very, very wisely. He's taken down or put down onto the ground by number 21, Dante Barker. The Greenjackets will have a 1st and 10 just inside their own 20-yard line. So, I guess they're going to mark it at the 15. So, Jackets have a long ways to go, but they've got an offense that can certainly do it. And we haven't seen Kevin Siska, as of yet, try to air the ball out to either Dan Chandler or Gabe Young. And both of those young men are in. Gabe Young split wide right, Chandler wide left. And they tried to hand off inside to David Winter. And once again, it looks as though they are not able to win that that battle in there. We're going to, I guess, you give them a gain of a yard. Now, T-Bone Green coming out. He was in at the tight end position, and Jack Gibbs is in at tight end. Gibbs, a former quarterback, and is certainly capable of going down the field with the ball as well. There's a pitch out to Danny McGovern. If he can break it to the outside, get some running room.
Nowhere to go.
He got a couple of yards on that play, and there's a late flag coming in. And again, these two teams, and once again, I said there is bad blood between these two teams. They, for one reason or another, don't like each other. And as I said before, they're probably down there calling each other's parents bad names and saying some rotten things to each other. So
It's tough playing against guys you know.
now the personal foul is going to be against Albany, the Capitaland Thunder. So that's going to pull the Green Jackets out of being deep into their own territory and get the ball out beyond the 30-yard line at about the 33. It'll be first down for the Green Jackets. Still over 5 minutes left to go in this first half. Jake Wilde, the center, Kevin Siska, is back to pass. Now he can run, but he just ran out of time back there. There was a fumble, but he fumbled out of bounds. Again, we want to thank another one of our great sponsors in our program, Dean's Patriot Family Eatery and Pub. And of course, in our program, they salute Dick Leland, 20-year Green Jacket, now in the National Hall of Fame. Dean's also has pizza. Now, that's available, eat in or take out. And stop and see Tim at the Revolutionary Pub downstairs while you're there. The loss of, I guess, about 7 on that play. The ball is back to the 25-yard line. Now, number 4 is Brian Hahn split wide left. Chandler split wide right. And now Chandler's going to take it as an end around, but nothing there. That defense of the Capitaland Thunder is they're very smart. They know and can read these plays very, very quickly. They've been together for a while, as you just mentioned, Nick.
That's one of the biggest keys to having a successful team is having everybody at practice all the time. These guys are working with each other year after year after year. You know each other without even having to talk about it.
Well, we kind of expected this game to be a low-scoring game, as the other one was that they played. I'm a little surprised with under 4 minutes left to go in the first half that there is no score as of yet, but if the Green Jackets have the ball, that pretty much prevents Albany from scoring, providing the guys keep their hands on the ball. Now, the familiar running back duo in the backfield of David Winter and Danny McGovern. Winter takes the handoff. No, he didn't. They fooled me. Now, Chandler tried to come back after that pass. He was tied up by number 21, Dante Barker, who made a good play on Dan Chandler. And that does bring up a 4th down. So Torrey Mayer will be back there attempting to kick the ball as deep as he possibly can. Still 3:28 left to go in the first quarter. Offensive line is doing a decent job. They gave Siska time to pass that time. They're, of course, sponsored by the Big Uglies, selling apparel for the Big Ugly football player in you on Broad Street, downtown Glens Falls. Torrey Mayer back to punt. He's at about his own 10-yard line.
Nice snap.
And he gets it off a high kick. And there is a flag on the play, and I believe that the Capitaland player who came in hit Torrey Mayer, and that will be roughing the kicker. It'll be a first down for the Green Jackets.
Green Jackets are having a great night, getting all the penalties on their side.
Nick, they do play by NFL rules, and NFL rules say that you cannot touch the kicker. So it doesn't matter if it's the slightest little touch. If you touch him while he's kicking the ball, it's roughing the kicker. And that's exactly what Mike Cronin just called. It'll be a first down for the Green Jackets. Although he hasn't made he has not made the signal yet, so maybe I better be quiet until he does. But they are moving the ball out now, so we'll see We'll see what is happening
They
here.
declined the penalty.
Jackets declined the penalty. It wouldn't have given them a first down. But I would have believed that it would have given them better field position to kick the ball in. So you kind of have to question that. Ball is at about the 42-yard line of the Greenjackets. That's where Capitaland will take over 1st and 10.
A lot of times you just got to accept a great kick and just take it at
Well,
that.
Torrey Mayer did a good job getting that ball out there. A nice high kick. And
I mean, if the snap messes up when you're back there that far, I mean, anything can happen. So why
Certainly.
take the chance again?
well, good point. And again, that's showing Joe Bonviaggio's faith in this defense that he has. Lenny Noisette still in a quarterback for the Capitaland Thunder. He's back to pass. He's looking for number 2. And instead he went to the inside man, number 23, Tony Tanksley. Tanksley was brought down, I believe, by Brian Northern. Came out of his linebacker position. No, Night Train Jones, out of the defensive end position, came back and made the tackle. But it is a first down for the Capitaland Thunder. 2 minutes, 25 seconds left to go in the first half. Again, another one of our sponsors that we would certainly like to thank is John Myers at Character's Giant Party Store in the Aviation Mall. They have all kinds of things there. Bounce rides, costume rentals, party supplies, tents, popcorn, cotton candy machines, all kinds of things like that. So stop and see John Myers over at Character's in the Aviation Mall. And this is the 2-minute warning. So the Capitaland Thunder are on the drive. They are at about the 27-yard line. It gives the Joe Bonviaggio time to come out and talk with his defense. And it looks like Bob Fish is being taken off the field, and it looks like he'll be making a trip to the hospital to have his leg checked out. So unfortunate for the Greenjackets. Bob Fish, one of their best offensive linemen. And that's always sad that they will have to take him in and have him checked. And apparently it must be something that Middleton thinks is serious enough where he needs further health care for it.
So early in the season, why take a chance, get it checked
Certainly.
out, and be sure.
So Big John Gifford has taken Bob Fish's place on that offensive line and added about 80 pounds more, I guess, to it. Now, John will probably come up to me at practice and say, no, George, they're right at 350, but John looks like he's more about 380. He's a big man. But one of the things about John now is that he is an offensive line coach as well. And, of course, you know he coaches the Fasco All-Stars as well. So John certainly knows the techniques and can help those guys while he's in there.
He's also played for so many years. I mean,
Yeah, he's been around for a long time.
He was saying earlier, like 3 decades he's played on this team. It's amazing.
Now that's going to be movement against the offensive line, number 72, C.T. Barker, an offensive lineman at 5'10", 280 pounds, and he moved, and it should be offside against the Capitaland Thunder, but let's wait and see what the officials have to say. It is a false start. So that'll move them back 5 and be 1st and 15. Another one of our great sponsors in our program this year, Fitzgerald Brothers Beverages. Tackle your thirst with a big, cold Pepsi from Fitzgerald Brothers Beverages on Dix Avenue in Glens Falls. And Noisette up tight to the center, and we'll see what he has. He has quick pass out into the flats, and they're trying to bring it back into the center of the field. Runs into the hands of
Defense.
Mike Randall, who just swarms all over him, and the rest of the guys come up to help, and there's going to be a loss on the play. Loss of about 7, I believe. Let's see where, no, I guess they're going to put it. Did he make it back to the line of scrimmage?
I believe so.
Another sponsor in our program, Adirondack Paintball Games, LLC, area's premier playing facility. That's in Queensbury. We'd like to thank them also for sponsoring Green Jacket football. Noisette is taking the snap in the shotgun, and he's trying to find somebody,
Going deep.
and he has a man wide open back
Touchdown.
there. You see the number, I guess it was number 1, Jeff Turman, or is it number 2?
Number 2.
Okay, number 2, Travis Gaddy, 5'10", 185 pounds, was able to get by Nicky LaRose and into the end zone for a touchdown. So the Capitaland Thunder leading 6-0 with 1 minute left to go in the first half. And again, Nick, this is one of those games that, you know, there's going to be very few scores. And Jacket offense really has not gotten on track as of yet. They did have one big play from scrimmage with Kevin Siska taking the ball about 60 yards, but other than that, not much else.
It's going to come down to who's in better condition.
And it's blocked. The extra point is blocked by number 2, Greg Brialt, and Damon Walker also in on that.
That was a great play by our special teams.
The special teams, sponsored by Real Estate Express, a local real estate and home improvement show coming to TV8 in September. Be sure your broker lists your home on Real Estate Express. We also want to remind you folks at home, all Green Jacket games are televised on TV8 on Sundays from 5 to 8 p.m. and again on Mondays, 7:30 to 10:30 p.m. every week from now through October. Be sure to tune in to Green Jacket football. So now the Jackets will have 55 seconds left to go in this first half. Now, watch Danny McGovern. Danny McGovern certainly has the speed to be able to break something. So does David Winter. They have the capabilities and the speed. In the last game, of course, Danny McGovern had taken a punt, and he took it about 93 yards for a touchdown. So don't be surprised if Capitaland attempts to kick away from Danny McGovern. They have Dan Chandler also back. And then they have a bunch of guys that are kind of in the center of the field. Danny Marbut is certainly capable of running the ball back, as is Jack Gibbs, Tony T-Bone Green. And it looks as though David Winter is also up. So wherever they put the ball, they have good hands people. Kicking off will be number 10, Jason Bradwell. He's a big kicker, 6'1", 206. So he's a good-sized kicker. These fans here, they're in a good crowd here at East Field tonight. We certainly want to thank all the people from East Field, or from Glens Falls and the surrounding area, for coming out to support the Green Jackets. Danny McGovern takes it, and he hands it off to Dan Chandler, who has some running room. He's still going. Big return. Brings it out beyond midfield and down to about the 43-yard line of Capitaland. And with 44 seconds left to go, don't be surprised if we see Kevin Siska trying to air the ball out. Great run back. Another sponsor, Minogue's Beverage Centers. They're with us every year, and we're certainly very happy to see them. Minogue's on West Avenue in Saratoga, and Quaker Road in Queensbury, and Maple Avenue in Wilton. Minogue's Beverage Centers. Siska back to throw, and he was taken down by number 56, Rick Fish, a linebacker, 6'2", 2 1/4. And a loss on the play, a loss of about 7 on the play, so it'll bring up a 2nd and 17. Only 25 seconds left to go in this first half. Siska back to throw again. And it looked as though Gabe Young slipped down, so Siska wisely threw it to so that it was going to stay low. It's going to bring up a 3rd down now. Only 18 seconds left to go in this first half, and of course, the Jackets are certainly hoping to be able to get somebody open back there. The offensive line will have to do their job, though, Nick.
Yes, this is going to be a big test for them. I mean, halfway through the game, you're hot, you're tired, you're ready to get some water. You gotta go up here and bump bellies.
Well, that's a tough position to play, no question. The offensive line, you got some big men coming after you. Now Siska gets the ball out and it was in and out of the hands of David Winter. Still 13 seconds, but there's a fourth down now. Now, this could be one of those situations. You're out far enough, and you're still in Capitaland territory at about the 49-yard line. You might as well go for it. There's no sense in kicking the ball. There's no sense in trying anything like that. Why not go for it? You only have 13 seconds left. The only thing that could happen, and certainly bad things can happen, as we all know. It looks like the Jackets have taken a timeout, and Coach Tommy Mayer has gone out onto the field to talk to his offense. The offensive line, sponsored by the Big Uglies, selling apparel for the Big Ugly football player and you on Broad Street, downtown Glens Falls. Running backs, Phil Russell's City Pizza, the best pizza in town at Quaker Plaza on Quaker Road, near O'Toole's. And the quarterback, sponsored by the Post-Star, from the Capital District to the Adirondacks, reaching 100,000 readers every day. We want to say, once again, also thank you to J.E. Sawyer and Company Incorporated, a proud sponsor of the Greenjackets. Russ Chatham and his crew over at J.E. Sawyer's in downtown Glens Falls are also in Johnstown and in Latham. Plumbing, heating, industrial, and contractor supplies.
Here we go.
Now, don't be surprised if we see, we'll see the speedsters out there. There's no question. We see Dan Chandler, split wide left. Gabe Young, split wide right. And they pitched it to McGovern. McGovern's got some running room. He does not get outside, but they try and call a quick timeout. They still have 4 seconds, 3 seconds, and there is a timeout. He gets the ball all the way down to about the 33 or 34-yard line.
It's a great play call on coaching staff.
Also a great thank you to Dobert's Dairy, where our friend Larry Spears works. Larry, a former longtime Green Jacket, wide receiver. Dobert's Dairy on 3rd Street in Glens Falls. They're not just a dairy. They have food service for all your restaurant needs, milk, ice cream, country epicure. They have Nuns of New Skeet cheesecakes, all kinds of things. And they have been a Green Jacket sponsor for a long time. I guess it wasn't enough for a first down. Is that the... Yeah, I guess it wasn't. It's 1st and 10, Capitaland right now with only 3 seconds left to go, so... And I would think that Noisette would probably just drop on a knee, and that is going to be the end of the first half. With the Capitaland Thunder leading the Green Jackets by a score of 6-0. We'll be back with third quarter action right after these messages.